We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You want it raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't say the truth because it does makes her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BV Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
Yes, and welcome once again to another edition of Pop's Takes right here on Backwoods Veterans Media. Before we get started, I want to remind you guys, be sure to head over and check out our website of backwoodsvets.com, where you can catch up on all the latest and greatest of what's going on in BV Nation, as well as catching up on all your favorite programming that we have to offer over there. And in the meantime, welcome to this week's edition of Pop's Takes. I am J-Dub, and joining with me, as always, is the man, the myth, the legend, the old breed Marine, Don, a.k.a. Pops. What's going on, old man? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. And listening to some crap going on, but that's okay.
Oh, do tell, do tell.
Well, I got a question for you.
Okay.
Well, everybody talks about diversity. Now, what do you think diversity is?
What do I think diversity is?
Yeah.
Mishmash, hodgepodge of different people from different backgrounds.
Not just different people, but different things, different everything
Yeah.
in one thing.
Yeah.
Okay? But that's not what we want. That's what these people want. They want division. They want fighting and hate. And
Well, who
everything.
is they?
The left? Okay.
Okay.
They keep talking about they want diversity. They want diversity. Well, the last time I looked at the dictionary, diversity derived from the word divide. Now, that's what they're trying to do to us, isn't it? Divide us.
That's what it seems like anymore.
And they said that they even want diversity in the military. Now, let me ask you something. What's the number one thing that you are taught when you go into boot camp?
There is no black. There is no white. There is no yellow. It's all green.
You are all Army or Navy or Air Force or Marines, whatever.
Right.
Whatever branch you go into, that is what you are.
Yes.
And you don't want a group of divided people.
No.
It's a one unit. And the first thing they tell you is to do away with it. Now they're trying to say that this new commander-in-chief, or what, not commander-in-chief, but head of the Army or whatever he is. You're the Army man.
Well, you talk about the chief of staff? Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, the chief of staff. All right. He's all talking about diversity. Well, as far as I know, if I went into combat again with somebody, I guarantee you, I don't want diversity. I want them the same as me. I want them to concentrate on what we're doing, keeping each other alive and getting back out of there alive.
Right.
And protecting what we're supposed to be protecting. So, what in the...
Well, out of Oxford languages, diversity, as you're asking, it actually gives two different definitions. One is a state of being diverse or variety, or a range of different things. So that is what they intentionally are meaning by diverse, but I get what you're saying.
Well,
I get what you're saying with the whole thing.
I mean, I don't want a diverse country. I want a country that is united together in all things. And I don't care what you are or who you are. I don't care if you're purple and green.
Right.
If you're a member of this, a citizen of this country, then we're all one.
Agreed.
Our Pledge of Allegiance says the same thing. One and all, and liberty for justice for everybody.
By the way, apparently you have a fan waving at you.
Uh-huh.
So Miss Kate Milton, hey guys, looking good, Pops.
Hey.
So
Glad to have you out there.
Oh yeah. Checking in from down there out of Roseburg, Winston area.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's you know, the state of things right now, at least from what I can tell, it's they're, and why I say they, I'm talking a lot of politicians and folks in power and whatnot, they want to see, at least it feels like they want to see us divided at each other's throats, because it has been shown time and time and time again throughout American history that when the American people come together as Americans, as people of these United States, nothing is impossible. Absolutely nothing is impossible. We approved it time and time again, whether it be through the Industrial Revolution that we went through, whether it's through economic means, whether it's through, being able to rebuild, an island after, take a look at Pearl Harbor as a prime example. Take a look at 9/11 as a prime example. I mean, it's just the way when folks can come together and put all the other BS aside, to put all the racial divide and everything else, put that off to the side. Because honestly, in my opinion, and I did a video on this a few years back, to where it doesn't matter where you come from, what pigment of skin color you have, everything's the same underneath. Same organs, same blood color, tissues, all the same, everything. The only difference is just the pigment, color of your eyes and the color of your skin. But other than that, we're all human beings. What's so hard about being able to treat people as such? I don't get it.
It's not.
But what I don't understand. I don't know. Maybe it's me just being ignorant here.
No.
Just with the way I was raised and the way that I learned and the way that I experienced things throughout my time in the military and even on the civilian side, and just being an overall try to be a decent human being.
Well,
what does that got anything to do with it? Why can't we judge people on who they are inside?
Right. What they are, who they're, what they're.
What's wrong with judging a person by their character, not by what color they are?
Well, that's what you're supposed to do, isn't it?
Last I checked.
That's what I told you.
I know that's what you taught me growing up.
But, it's just, it's sad. And I've got a feeling after what I heard yesterday.
Which was?
On Waters World. Which is, I happen to like to watch a lot of conservative.
I'm noticing the trend.
Yeah.
I'm sure our viewers are too.
Yeah. Watch a lot of conservative television and stuff. And
right.
One of the people that I like to watch is Waters World.
Yeah.
Waters, he does a lot of going out every once in a while to different places and talking to the different people on the street.
Yeah.
And ask them a question. And he was in Georgetown, around Georgetown University.
Okay.
And not one student that he talked to, and 99% of them were women. Everyone, when he asked them if they were proud to be in this country, they said they were ashamed of this country. What are they teaching these people?
I heard something about that. I actually heard a clip from that on the radio here the other day, and I just went, "Are you kidding me?"
I could not believe it.
I mean,
I know where I think I could put together, by contacting the right people, that I could put together a ship and they just load them all up in it and take them to one of these countries that where they could have what they're saying they want.
Exactly.
And see how they like it for a while.
Paul Sullivan nailed it on the head. We never saw color while we served. You're right. And if you did, you're wrong.
Exactly.
Dead wrong. The only color you should be seeing is the same color uniform. That's the only thing you should be seeing. And I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I got to tell you something. Not only that, but
go ahead.
There's another color that I've had a few times in combat.
Okay.
Red.
Well, yeah.
Bloody red.
Yeah. Blood red and mad.
Right.
So exactly. No, I get that all too well.
Angry red.
Oh yeah. But God, I just totally took away my train of thought.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. And it blows my mind to listen to how almost indoctrinated a lot of these students are coming out of universities today.
They are indoctrinated.
Good seeing you. It's crazy to think just how indoctrinated these folks actually are. because a lot of professors nowadays are teaching them that it's to be ashamed of where we come from, of who we are. I understand. Yes, the United States has a ugly past, but show me a country on the face of this world that doesn't. Show me one that doesn't. Pick any country on the face of the map of the globe that doesn't have an ugly history. The English, the Norwegians, the Russians, the Indians. And when I'm talking Indians, I'm talking the actual India, not Native Americans, not indigenous folks, okay? You know, South Africans, the Irish. I mean, I'm just
you know, are you talking about Africa?
The Dutch even the Dutch. Like, seriously. And we all know how freaky deaky the Dutch are.
You talk about these different countries and different languages and everything. And right now the blacks, the BLM is all about slavery and how they were all slaves and all that. Not all of them were slaves. In fact, the people nowadays are not slaves because they've been born into freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And they're American citizens.
Oh, by the way, right quick, Dean has a message for you, Pops.
Go, Dean.
He says, happy birthday, Pops.
Hey.
Which, by the way, we did give you a shout out on BB Nation Radio last night, but another reason why we tried to get you to go on the show with us last night, but that's okay.
I was kind of a busy day yesterday.
Yes, you were.
Almost as busy today. Hey, but I did get a chance to get a haircut today. That's a good thing.
Right. I hear you there.
Started to cover up my ears pretty soon.
Right. So anyhow, like I said,
thanks to all of you.
Yeah, we got Dean Cerny checking in, Paul Sullivan checking in. I'm not even going to try the second half of your name because I don't want to butcher it. Of course, Kate Milton checked in, and Harmony O'Brien, who actually is a local gal from here just up the road from us, got her checking in. And yeah, I mean, but anyhow, as you were saying, though, go ahead.
Yeah, you got me off talking about
paybacks suck, don't they?
Yeah. But, well, anyhow, this thing with the college students and everything else, and I'll say to them the same thing I said the other day on about the flag, in which I'm wearing that shirt again.
Right.
Because I believe in that. Let it wave. And that's, but if they don't like it here, if they're ashamed of it or they just don't like it, I can help them pack.
I think there's a lot of us that probably would.
No problem. And I can get lots of others to help them.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In fact, I could probably even find them transportation out of here. Of course, I'm not saying it won't stop in the middle of the ocean somewhere, but that's beside the point.
Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. Which, by the way, speaking of flags, I know our viewers are probably going, why is there a big empty space right back here, right behind my head? Well, that's because from last 4th of July weekend, POW flag that I normally have hanging up here in the background. Yeah, that got taken out, and I was actually hanging up in camp along with the rest of the service flags, which, was a good time. So I know you had a pretty quiet and uneventful 4th of July weekend.
I found out I had muscles I didn't think I had.
Oh?
I had to put up hay.
Oh, yeah. I know, right? I get a phone call as we're hitting the road. And from Mom saying, oh, yeah, by the way, so you know, we're doing hay over the 4th. So enjoy your time. I'm like, are you serious right now? Really? Wait.
You got the call. Couldn't leave it set. Punch us down and bail. We got to get it.
Right. I mean, I'm just saying, but it definitely was enough to make me go, really? That makes me feel about yay big right now.
Well, you still got something to put up for Mariah.
Oh, yeah. So, which, by the way, I actually have a picture somewhere. At least I thought I did. That somebody took. Oh, no one put the pictures in the group. Boo. So big group of us that did the VIP Camp Out Memorial Day that we do now.
Right.
We pretty much did a redo of it for 4th of July.
Okay.
And one of the things that we had hanging up is, excuse me, we actually put up all the different service flags in proper order of precedence, hung them up in camp. Started with the Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force. And yes, we had to include a new kid on the block. We put the Space Force flag up there. High Tech got the Space Force flag.
Good.
And then I kind of have to giggle because a new kid on the block bumped him down the line again. And that's our friends over in the Coast Guard. How's it feel, Coast Guard, to get bumped down the line by the new guy? And then, of course, we had the POW and the Gadsden flag as well. The Don't Tread on Me. And then, of course, we had the old Stars and Stripes hanging off the flying pole rigging there, posted up for our camp. So it was a good time.
Well, the Coast Guard don't knock it, I tell you.
As much as a bad time as we give them,
I got a brother.
I give them props. Yes, I know Uncle Bob was in the Coast Guard, but the reason, and here's the funny thing about it: a lot of people don't understand why the service flags go in that order. Is because the first thing you do is you do the DoD flags, the Department of Defense,
right?
And you put those up in chronological order from the time that they were founded. That's why you go Army, Navy, Marines, Air Force, Space Force, and then you go into the Coast Guard, because Coast Guard, contrary to popular belief, is not a DoD service. They fall under Department of Homeland Security.
Right.
And that is only since 9/11 happened, when they constituted the Patriot Act. Before that, they actually fell under the Department of Transportation. The only time that the Coast Guard falls under DoD domain is during a declared time of war, in which time they then fall under the Department of the Navy.
Okay.
That is how that works.
Yeah, I know that the Coast Guard has been called in a few times.
Yes, they have. That's why a lot of times you will see guys, when you're deployed or whatever, you will see Coast Guardsmen that are deployed because they've been tasked out to the Navy.
Well, yeah, the Coast Guard, they were river rats in Vietnam. They drove
Dean Cerny.
They drove boats up and down the river with armed boats.
Talk about the Coast Guard, annoying little cousins. Yep. Oh, man. But, that's another thing, too, I forgot to highlight here a second ago was Paul Sullivan again. He goes, learn from history, don't erase it. Couldn't have said it any better myself.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying for years and years.
Yeah. Especially now with everything else that's going on.
I mean, they're not teaching history. They're trying to change history. Well, how do you change something that has already happened?
Exactly.
You can change for the future if you learn from the history.
Bingo. Nailed it.
You cannot go back and change history. History is history. Believe me.
That's why it's called history.
Exactly.
It's done. It's over with.
It's something that has happened and it's done.
Yep.
You can't change it, but you can change the way you do it the next time.
Precisely. You can learn from the mistakes that you have done.
Exactly. And that's what the country has always done. We've always learned from what mistakes we've made in the past.
Right.
And we made a big one this time around.
Well, we're not above making our share of mistakes, as we have done ourselves, as has been shown throughout history. Yes, I understand slavery was a shiner, but it was it was the norm of the day, and as society adapted and changed,
but you know what? If you stop and look,
folks had to make the adjustment as well.
I agree.
It's just like with with the Native American wars that we had.
Where do you think these slaves all came from?
What to here to the U.S.?
Yeah,
back
the ones that we got over here.
Depends. Which ones are you talking about? Are you talking the African slaves? Or are you talking the Irish slaves?
The African slaves that came up that they brought over here.
Okay.
a good portion of them, I don't remember the exact percentage.
Didn't a lot of them come out of
But-
South Africa?
They came out of, they were already slaves over there to different tribes.
Yeah, that's true.
One tribe would make slaves or eat their neighbor tribe people.
Yeah.
So
Take a look at
if they got to go
a
back
lot
and pay
what goes
reparation
on in
to
the
them,
Indies.
a lot of the slaves that got over here were lucky to get here because some of the plantation owner people that kept slaves
Hmm.
took very good care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had to work for free, but they didn't work for free because they got all their living. Now I know there was some bad ones that didn't. That traded
Oh,
their slaves
absolutely.
poorly. And there's bad in everything,
Yes, there is.
but there's good in it too. And a lot of good has come out of because you people that were your ancestors were slaves, and I'm not talking about just blacks. I'm talking about whites, reds, whatever.
Hmm.
I can tell you that we go back to
Native
history.
Americans, friggin' the
Yeah.
Irish. Oh yeah.
Guess
Oh
what?
yeah.
You realize that you've had ancestors that were slaves
Yeah.
to the Indians.
So where's our restitution?
Yeah, where's our
I want
reparation?
my chunk.
Where's our reparation? Yeah. But like I said, it's all a learning process. That's what history is for. And that's why you keep your history the correct way and what history really is and not the way you wanted it to be.
History is meant to make you uncomfortable. That
So-
is
Well, anyhow, once you got that history and you learn from it to go on and do better the next time around.
absolutely.
And I feel that that's what this country has done because every time we've had something that happened bad in history, up until now, we've corrected it or worked at correcting it. Tried to
Absolutely.
prevent it from happening
Work to
again.
right the ship.
So if you want to do something about the past, help us straighten out the future without all this other stuff that you've been doing, stealing and wrecking. People work their tails off with businesses and everything else, and you think it's your right to just go in and steal everything they had in the store or whatever, and that's wrong. It's not right. And it's a perfect example of terrorism.
Yeah. That's terrorism. Dean Cerny says, look at what the TVA did to the Appalachians. They paid them to build the dam, told them they were flooding their town, and told them to get out. Well, that's not the only town that's happened to. I mean, there's there's a whole lot more, especially out here out west. Oh my God, I can't even count how many towns are underwater right now.
Well,
That are now under, at the bottom of reservoirs and certain rivers and stuff like that. Take Detroit.
Salio Falls.
Yep. So yeah, Salilo is a big one. Bringing it up there in the
Bonneville
Columbia
Dams.
River Gorge.
Bonneville Dam's wiped it out.
Yep.
And you got the John Day Dam.
Yep. Exactly.
Those are big dams.
Even Lake Shasta.
right?
There's a town at the bottom of that. Like I said, Detroit, up here just south of us, at least what's left of it that hasn't got burnt to the ground. But there's so many other towns and stuff like that where you see that all over the country, and it's just like, come on, man. It's rough. It really is. And now here's the shitty thing about it. Now a lot of those dams that were built, now you got all the environmentalists coming in and saying, no, this has to go. This has got to go. And now they're starting to tear them down. Which is funny because at the time, that was the most environmentally friendly way to produce power to the big cities, was hydroelectric power. And now they're going, well, now we got, now we have freaking solar and we have wind and we have, we got all these other means that we could use. But hydroelectricity, even though it's clean energy, well, it hurts the fish. That's what they have ladders for.
Actually, it doesn't hurt the fish.
Bingo.
They were put in such a way with the fish ladders and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And actually,
no, it does hurt the fish. You know why it hurts the fish? because when they get stopped up at the bottom of the ladder to start climbing up the ladder to get upstream, guess what? You got all the damn sea lions coming in, gathering up at the bottom of the dams, eating the fish.
Well, if they didn't do it, there used to be the fish netters and stuff on the Solano Falls used to take them all out.
Yeah. Well, they still do it down here in Willamette Falls, here in Oregon City. They do it down there. You get the tribes coming in off the Grand Ronde tribes that come in, and they do it at the falls. You can go all the way up to, you can fish all the way up to the old Oregon City Westland Bridge, but don't go past it. That's native territory alone. They're the only ones that can fish that area.
Up the deadline, yeah. But above the falls, you can still fish.
Well, yeah, once you get back up above the falls, but right there at the base of the falls.
Yeah, that's
to, like you said, to the deadline, aka the old Oregon City Westland Bridge. That's it. No more.
Well, I thought they did away with that fish walkway they had there for the fishermen.
Nope, it's still there.
Is it?
Yep. So they were out there here this last summer, actually. So let's see. We got some other folks checking in. There's Dean. Yeah. Dan Stables with Gold. So the Gold Mining Marine here. Semper Fi, brother.
Semper Fi.
TVA was notorious for doing shit like that. Yes, they were. Also at the bottom of Millerton Lake in Fresno County. Yeah, that's true. That's another one. And they'll come back to hydroelectric power once the big cities start. Breaks once their electric bills start. You know what? Here's the thing. A lot of them already are.
Oh.
A lot of those, a lot of your big power companies like PG&E in California, PGE, Pacific Power, at least out here on the West Coast, those are the big ones out here. Yeah, they're already not so much as Pacific Power, but PG&E in California and PGE here in Oregon. Yeah, they are definitely cranking up the power bills on folks.
Oh,
and it's getting ridiculous. It really is, because the power is not that much. When you have the means to create enough electricity just from the windmill farms that they have, as a prime example, out in the Columbia River Gorge. I know I keep talking all this West Coast stuff or national organization, but these are the best examples that I know the most about and can give to put in perspective for you guys. You know, when you have enough electricity that is produced by those windmills in a week to generate enough power to power the entire western half of the state for 3 months, for 1 quarter. Why is the, and it doesn't cost anything to generate it. Well, I mean, aside from the maintenance, maintenance of the equipment.
You still got to pay for having to put in that construction.
I get that. Once the initial cost is done, though, but these are private companies that are doing this. I mean, granted, yes, I understand how economics works. You have the upfront cost, and that gets passed on to the consumer until that cost has been made up, and then the price can start coming down. I understand that. But these are windmill farms and stuff that have been built, and we're still using some hydroelectric, like Detroit Dam. Bonneville's a big one. There's a couple down the Santiam River and the McKenzie River that are still getting used, even farther upstream on the Columbia, like the Dalles Dam and stuff like that. These places are producing enough power and have pretty well paid themselves off.
And they sell some of their power down to California.
Yes, they do. So why is it to where, what used to be here, I want to say, about 10 years ago, you use about $100 worth of power. Your average power bill for let's say,
$70, $80.
Yeah. For a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, a modern one, running about, like I said, about 10 years ago, running about $70, $80. And that's just with using normal amount, having the lights on when you need them, shutting them off, keeping the fridge going.
Now it's 3 to 4 times that.
Yeah. Now you're looking at almost $300-$400 a month. It is ridiculous. Why? What is that money going to? Well, we're using it for projects.
Yeah.
What projects? Show me what you're using them for.
Well, they're not going to show you anything.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But in the last few months, prices have went up so much on it. Of course, it costs a lot to get things to market and everything else now. It just, the fuel prices have went up because of our loss of fuel, being dependent on.
Went from being energy independent, nearly 100% energy independent, to now we're back to square one.
Or worse. We're worse than we were.
Yeah.
And
the CEO's third mansions and fifth yachts. Yeah, that's probably true there, Dean.
Now, there's some things that you can't do without, okay? You got to have food and stuff like that.
Right.
Now, our grocery bill here at the house, just Mom and I and you, and usually somebody else around, but anyhow, it went from like $100 every couple of weeks to right now. Last week we went out to the grocery store to resupply everything.
I was gonna say one at almost $400.
Almost $600.
Jesus. It's ridiculous. It really is.
And you have to remember that we get discounts on both places.
Yeah.
We get employee discounts for Bi-Mart stuff, where we get all canned foods and things like that. And so with what we spent, and that's $600, we actually had over $100 discount before the $600.
Right.
So it was closer to $700 if been somebody else going in and buying all that. And we didn't buy a lot.
No. It's hard to believe, what was 8 bags of groceries, as well as, a few other odds and ends that you can't exactly fit in a reusable bag.
But yeah, you go ahead and you buy a 3 or 4 pound beef roast or whatever, pork roast.
And that's $40 now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
$35 to $40.
Mm-hmm.
And that's if you buy the stuff on sale.
Yeah.
You go out and buy a turkey now. What's that? $25, $30.
Yeah, and that's for a 12-pounder.
Yeah.
That's for a small 12-pounder. You try getting a big bird like a 20-pounder, you're looking at spending, like you said, about $30-$40. It's ridiculous. And people wonder why, guys get mad about not being able to get anything when they go out hunting, why they get all ticked off about game management and things like that, especially out here. Oh, my God, it's crazy. It really is. But that's another subject for another day.
Oh, because we get into that.
That's another deep rabbit hole in itself, man, in regards to dealing with, the game management system out west.
When you find out that all your fees and everything you pay for your hunting fees and everything, trapping fee, whatever, all those fees for that particular thing.
Yep.
You put in, it was supposed to go for management of the animals and stuff like that, bringing them, making sure they don't get extinct and all that kind of stuff, and making sure of the disease.
Yeah, about that.
But now they're finding sneaky ways to take it away from it.
Yep.
And use it someplace else. And basically, I still say that's against the law because it's set up in the regs and everything for hunting and fishing regs and the Game Commission that's what the money's supposed to be used for.
Yeah, exactly. Carl nailed it on the head. He's like a rabbit hole that will take a few days to get to the bottom of. Only a few days? I think we could do
a couple of years.
We could do a week-long segment. We could do a special week-long report, bringing an hour a day, just talking about the way things are screwed up and how they can fix it and what the funds are going towards and everything else and how they just completely screwed everything up over the last 30 years. It goes right up there with their forestry management. Take a look at what's going on down in Southern Oregon right now with the Boot Lake fire just out of Klamath Falls.
That's why they have all them fires.
Or the Riverside and Beachy Creek fire that we had last year that actually forced us out of here, out of our home here, because of evacuations from it, because of mismanagement.
But they're not managed. That's the whole problem.
Yeah, exactly. But
they
that's
have no clue as to how to manage a forest and stuff.
Again, this is what happens when you put bureaucrats in charge instead of biologists.
Exactly.
So, anyhow, Pops, we are actually overtime.
Okay.
We're about 5.5 minutes past our time here on the clock. So, anyhow, guys, that does for us here on this week's edition of Pops Takes. Pops,
Hey,
any other final words of wisdom before we wrap it up
Yes.
for this week?
get out and try and keep people straight in the way they're supposed to go. Remember that by our vote, we can take and straighten things out. So make sure that your friends get out there and vote the right way.
Right.
All right.
And Dean, actually, I'm going to add to that as well. He goes, why Native Americans didn't have a whole lot of fires or forest fires? They picked up firewood. And they also used to do prescribed burns themselves.
Yes.
That is a proven fact. They used to do a lot of them. So anyhow, guys, that does it for us here on the show. We will talk to you guys more next time right here on Pops Takes.